we've restructured the whole podcast for the current events, and we hope you enjoy it, because I'm looking through the segments. We got new segments, new games, sports pieces. The Rayne segment is back. The Rayne segment's back.
Maybe we should do more polls.
Yeah, more polls. But that's what we've got, a new segment called Divide the Nation.
Yeah.
And that's where the polls are going to come in.
Oh, okay.
And the question is, has the male masculinity debate gone too far, and does it need to stay in 2022?
Feels good.
Right. Hello and welcome to the Curious Fijian people. I'm your host, Fijian.
I'm the co-host, Rayne.
And it's a new year, new podcast setup, and we're going for it this year.
Back.
I've been watching them back. The energy's low. The entertainment for the people's not there. I wouldn't want to watch it. So now we've come with a whole new... We've restructured the whole podcast for the current events. And we hope you enjoy it, because I'm looking through the segments. We got new segments, new games, sports pieces. The Rayne segment is back. The Rayne segment's back. The moment of the week's back. We got people's moment of the weeks from Instagram that are back. Like, we're flying. This is the year of the takeover.
Yeah, hopefully we can have more correspondence. More people telling us that, yo, like, hit us up with something. It's like, oh, like,
I thought we left in 2022.
Hit us up with something that we could improve on.
Yeah. But, so yeah, you're locked into the curious.
Some people don't want to tell you, don't do.
No, I think some people just expect... other people would tell you. You know, when I see a poll or something, I think I don't need to vote on it because other people
Maybe we should do more polls.
Yeah, more polls. But that's what... We've got a new segment called Divide the Nation. Yeah. And that's where the polls are going to come in.
Oh, okay.
But I'll get,
that's a good one.
Yeah, I'll get into that. I'll get into all that as we start going through the pod. If you're a new listener, we hope you enjoy it. It's the Curious Fijian. Me and him are Fijian.
Hopefully we bring you value.
We bring you some value. Not that Patrick but David valuetainment, but some value. And yeah, we're just two brothers
on a journey.
Mike's is in the back with the camera. And if you are new to the podcast, please subscribe. Obviously, we're chasing our goal of 1,000 subscribers. And we want to get there this year. So if you're new to the podcast, subscribe. If you've been here already, hit the like button. Share with your friends. Because if you like it, we're sure your friends will.
Yeah. Hopefully today we can bring some wisdom. You can share with your mum, nan, granddad.
Dad, sisters.
Yeah. all of that.
But the first segment of the pod... So how the pod would be structured is normally we'd talk about our weeks, because we've been doing a lot of we've done a lot of current events. We're going to miss that bit out, and we're going to go straight into the sports segment hosted by Michael Joy. So this is the segment where Mikey will take us through all the sports going on in the week, things we don't know, games coming up, and even games coming up in the next week. We could even start doing like a 5-fold accumulator for the Prem, if you people were into that betting. Yeah, 5-fold accumulator, because I might stick a little 5p on that. Yeah, and I ain't talking about no Ivan Toney betting on 300 and something games.
What happens with him?
I don't know, but he's gone off injured, and I think the injury's fake. I think it's a fake injury because they're going to try and run the games down.
Well, since it's all come out, he's been scoring bare goals, hasn't he? He's been
bare goals.
He's turned off. He's scared.
Yeah, he knows that he's getting a ban soon, so he wants to be scoring as many as he can, get his stock high.
But so Mikey's going to run us through all the sports stuff, and we'll get this party started.
We'll start off on a negative one. Pele, Pele
peace.
Passed away. Yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, it's I didn't realise how young he was. I thought he was older than 80.
82.
82. I thought he was like 90s.
82 is
a good innings, and it is at the age where you're old.
Yeah.
But I thought he was older than that. I thought he was like 90.
Yeah, I thought
Pele was like old school.
Yeah.
He is old
I ain't gonna lie.
He's old school, but I'm talking like, how old's Maradona? Was Maradona then?
I think he was in his 60s.
I ain't gonna lie. I thought Pele was already dead.
This guy, man.
I'm sorry.
Throwing that shade on... Listen, you can throw shade on Maradona being the cocaine monster, but you can't be out here fucking disrespecting Pele.
I mean, I thought... I don't know what... Oh, no, I'm thinking of Nelson Mandela. That's why. I don't know.
But no, back to Pele. What, in your eyes, do you reckon the best ever? No. People would say he's the best ever, though.
No, I never got to see him play.
True, very
but
true.
He did win 3 World Cups.
3
World Cups.
And he scored a lot of goals in them World Cups.
Did,
he played a massive part.
But definitely one of the... Definitely the greatest of his generation, yeah. But nah, Messi.
Yeah.
Messi.
Yeah, so R.I.P. him. Another GOAT though, Ronaldo,
He just
made
signed
his
that
move,
deal.
to Saudi Arabia, to Al Nazir.
It's a sad day.
That
really.
guy said,
It is a
said
sad day.
that guy
I don't
is-
want to see him go. Jamie Carragher put that tweet up, something like, the trajectory at the end of their careers, Messi wins a World Cup and Ronaldo goes to play in Saudi
Yeah,
Arabia.
but Messi's 2 years younger. than
2
him.
years younger.
You got to give Ronaldo. You got to give Messi 2 more years.
2 more years, because to be fair, Ronaldo 2 years ago was Juventus top goal scorer.
Yeah, well, last year was Man United.
Man United's top goal scorer last year. So last year everyone was saying Ronaldo's the GOAT because he's come back and scored that many goals, and Messi bombed in Liga, and they said Messi's shit and Ronaldo's
Yeah, but
the GOAT.
take away the Messi and thingy. Like, it's just the disrespect he's had this year.
Yeah.
Take away the Messi. I don't care about the Messi and Ronaldo shit. Take away all that. It's just a stigma on what he's had. It's pretty mad.
I think it's just because it's him. Well, like we said a few weeks ago, outspoken,
Yeah.
bit cocky, probably a little bit arrogant, and people want to see.
But I rate it though.
I rate it.
Like
He's
37 years old and you're getting paid £175 million a year.
What, going to thingy?
He's that
Yeah,
in sponsorships.
I think that's just on.
Because the same Saudi guy that brought them all. What did he buy them? He brought them all Rolls Royces, isn't it? He
When
was
they-
saying, he was saying in the interview that I watched with him, he wants Ronaldo to come over because they'd be like, it'd be better for their football. Hopefully, they can.
Don't
keep
they have
attracting
someone
him.
else going to Al Nassr? They have another player there, like a good player.
I'm not sure. Let me have a look. I know the other day.
I see Kante's link.
Yeah, apparently,
N'Golo Kante.
apparently a lot of people are starting to go over there. To be fair, Saudi didn't play bad football.
Bro, Saudi had a decent team in the World Cup, and they
They've got
should
a
have
few.
done Poland.
Yeah, they
They should have done Poland.
But Lewandowski's in
That
fucking
Ospina
G, man.
that used to play for
He's
Arsenal.
Ospina, yeah.
Luis Gustavo.
Luis Gustavo, you
I don't
centre
really know
mid.
anyone else? I don't know. Well, Ronaldo now. But yeah, I seen somebody went on to like their Instagram page and kept refreshing. They done like a minute of recording. They kept refreshing after they announced the Ronaldo thing. Went up and up and up. They got like 1 million followers.
Jesus, he the man just brings that.
Clout.
Yeah, he's just got
That's
clout.
crazy,
man.
yeah.
It's good for their league though, like getting a player like that, like
Yeah, no,
for
it
their
is.
football and that,
That's
and
brilliant.
for generations, because obviously people, it gives them something to believe in, innit?
Yeah, no, 100%.
And then going to the Premier League, Haaland again, man, just non-stop scoring. This geezer.
They drew though, didn't they?
They did draw, but
I didn't know that. I found out this morning. I looked at the Arsenal game yesterday, and Arsenal were like 8 or 9 points ahead, and I was like, and that Man City and Arsenal had played the same amount of games, and I was thinking, maybe Man City have that game in hand still, and they just haven't refreshed the games. Found out this morning, Man City fucking drew. They drew. Arsenal are what? Are they 9 points clear? 8 points clear?
7 points.
7
Well,
points clear.
Arsenal won 4-2. innit?
Arsenal won 4-2.
Arsenal are mashing up the us, man.
So Haaland's got 21 goals now.
Haaland scored more goals than Chelsea.
That's fucking mad.
I'm not sure if that's
pretty
the same
mad,
now,
isn't it?
but Haaland had scored. They done a league table of goal scorers. Haaland had scored more
It's
goals.
just a shame
than-
Man City is not not doing bits.
Well, they are doing
They are, but
bits,
they're not
but
doing bits.
they just look like they will drop points against them sort of teams. And I've said it all season. They look like I look at Arsenal and I think Arsenal might drop points against some of the better teams.
Yeah,
Which okay, they drop points against a Man City or they drop points against a Liverpool. That's fine. But Man City are dropping points against the lower teams, and I think if you can
Everton,
beat
man.
all the lower teams and drop a couple points against Man City and Liverpool, you will win the league.
Yeah.
Like Leicester that year. Leicester dropped points against teams in the top 4, but won all the rest of the games. Won the league. But I like to see it. People are hating on Arsenal. Oh, Arsenal going to win the league. We're not
hate
going to hear the
Arsenal,
end of it.
man.
I don't mind change. I'm sick of seeing the same two teams fucking win the league
Yeah.
every year. And Arsenal are a
They
good
deserve
team.
it, to be fair.
And I
They play good football.
do like this new look Arsenal team. I like a lot of their players. So
Fiery, young.
yeah, I'm happy.
I like it.
No,
I'm
I
happy.
agree with you. I like a lot of their players. Their front three. I think Saka's unbelievable, man.
Saka.
Martinelli as well.
Saka's brilliant. And do you know what's good about Saka? He's not that flancy. He's very direct.
No, I
and he's
see-
quite... Doesn't do that many skills. He's got some tricks. He
His
can do some step
decision-making
overs.
is 10 out of 10.
But he plays
He
football.
plays good,
He
man.
plays
He plays
his
good.
role,
Yeah, I like him.
Who have we got coming up? We got Aston Villa versus Spurs today at 2 o'clock.
That's today. But let's look forward to next week's games because this will be Wednesday. So we'll look forward to next week's games and maybe give some of your predictions for the next week's
Luton
games.
play today.
Oh, Luton. Let's touch on Luton quickly, actually, as well. Luton play today against Huddersfield. Obviously, the result will be out by then. I think Luton will win that game anyway. They should win that game. Huddersfield are bottom of the league.
Yeah.
Bottom of the league.
Luton are flying.
Luton are flying. And that win against QPR, Colton Morris gets 2. Dog.
Yeah.
He's a dog.
He's
He's a fucking dog, man. He's a dirty dog.
When was it Boxing Day to win?
Boxing Day to win against Norwich.
Yeah.
Luton
10
have
men down.
dropped. I think they've either lost only one game against all teams in the top 6. They've only lost one game.
What
That's
are we saying? Prem or what?
Well, do you know what the problem is? Burnley and
They're like
Sheffield
13
United are
points
like
ahead of
10
everyone else.
points ahead
Are they?
of
Yeah.
everyone else below. So they might be cemented, but playoffs they should get playoffs.
We should get playoffs.
And do you know who they could get in the playoffs? The stinky yellow boys. Watford. Could be diced. Could be diced pineapples. They done us in the league. Well, let's see what happens in the fucking playoffs when it matters.
Oh, yeah, I forgot Watford come down, didn't they? And they gave us a shoe-in as well.
So the day
They didn't thump
the
around.
day
boss.
They fucked us up. That was Big Brother, Little Brother treatment. They patted us on the head and say, "See you later, boys."
is this coming out on the 4th of Jan? It is.
This coming out on Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah. So there isn't any games that weekend. So there's games on the Wednesday.
There's games on the Wednesday.
Yeah,
Let's get
so
some predictions.
We got Southampton versus Nottingham Forest.
I'll go Nottingham.
I'm going Nottingham Forest.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. But then Jesse Lingard is injured. Isn't he?
Does he do that great for Nottingham Forest? Really?
Yeah, they looked awful against us. But
What happened to Lingard, man?
He's just.
he went for the bag, didn't he? 200k a week.
I think. Do you know what happened? Let me just quickly say this because I don't want to ramble. But I think what happened is he backed himself. And said, I'm going to go on a 1-year deal to Nottingham Forest. If I have a really good season, I'll have my pick from most clubs I want because I'll be on a free. And he's backed himself, which I still think at the end of the year, he will have his pick of Premier League clubs to an extent. But I think he thought he'd have the same sort of season he had at West Ham and then he could go to anyone. He could probably go abroad. He could do whatever he wanted. And at the minute, it's not.
His goal was to go to Nottingham Forest, play the season like he was at West Ham, and get into the World Cup squad. That was his main goal.
So he was looking at it for an investment.
But he's got an Achilles injury that keeps reoccurring.
I rate that.
Yeah, I rate it because you have to back yourself. Just may as well. He weren't going to play at Man United.
So you're saying Nottingham Forest, yeah?
Yeah.
We got Leeds versus West Ham.
Oh, at Leeds.
Yeah.
I'll take Leeds.
I'm saying a draw.
Draw.
Just sounds stinky, doesn't it?
Smelly game.
Yeah, it just sounds shit.
Does sound like a draw game. That's a smelly game.
The Aston Villa Wolves.
Aston Villa versus
I'm saying
Wolves.
Aston Villa, man.
I'm saying Wolves.
Wolves are playing.
I'm saying Wolves.
I
They've
don't
got a new
really know,
manager.
man.
They've got a new manager. I'm going Wolves.
I'm going Wolves
fuck
as well.
it, Aston Villa.
Crystal Palace Spurs. Crystal Palace at home.
I'll go 4. But have Crystal Palace got injuries? I feel like they've got injuries.
Oh, fuck it, I'm going Tottenham. they're just them guys, isn't they?
No, I'm going Crystal Palace.
I'm going draw.
Then we got one game on the Thursday. Chelsea versus Man City.
Chelsea versus Man City.
Yeah,
At Chelsea?
Yeah.
Draw. I'm going draw.
Draw sounds good.
Draw sounds
I
good.
think a draw as well, yeah.
I'm saying like 2-2.
I don't know, you know, actually I take that back because when Man City have a bad performance,
They do
always
smash up the next team. They do.
And I feel like they'll smash Chelsea.
So you're going City.
Yeah. That's it.
That's it.
And they still been playing good though, Man City. They don't seem like they've been playing how they normally played it.
I just think they look like they're going to drop points against teams. And that's what's happening. Realistically, you shouldn't be dropping points against Everton, but it's the Premier League. I think you can drop points to anyone. Like everyone's pretty much. There's not a team. Even like a Southampton and Nottingham Forest. There's a team that are shit, like really shit, and you're like, yeah, they're definitely getting relegated. Not really a team I'm looking at where I'm like, they're that bad.
Everyone's
pretty alright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's.
We've got the one little thing we can drop on as well is the fact that Liverpool sucked Man United for Cody Gakpo.
Yeah, Cody Gakpo.
Disappointed in that myself, but
PSV captain.
yeah.
Dutch,
Well,
Dutch
Dutch
talent.
Man U.
All the signs pointed at Man United.
Well, he done an interview, didn't he, in the summer, thinking he
Liverpool
was
coming in
Liverpool
scoop.
Liverpool coming and swiped him. But Man United do that stuff where they agree personal terms.
I don't think
You don't believe that?
we did. No.
No.
I think I think it could have happened if it was going to happen, it would have happened in the summer. It weren't going to happen. I don't think we're signing anyone in January because of the fact they want to sell, don't they? So that they ain't going to be spending money out. They'll get loans in or free transfers.
Do you know what the issue is with United? They always, what they try and do, let's assume they did agree personal terms, because they always do this with players. They go to the player, agree the terms, and then they go to the club as if they have one up on the club to say, well, he wants to leave and come to us, so we're going to offer you this amount of money. And the club goes, no, hold on, wait a minute.
We want this amount.
We want this, or he can just stay here. I don't give a fuck what he wants. Another club comes in, pays the asking price, agrees with the player, and they go. Why do they not just agree the price with the player? I feel like they fuck themselves so far because they try and get a better deal. Doesn't work.
It's mad when you look at it from that point of view, because it just seems like it looks like people are just like greedy and shit like that.
They are greedy though, the owners of United. I don't know who's.
I don't know why you won't just work with people so you both can earn the best amount of money.
Yeah, obviously, don't get me wrong. Man United do get bumped. Man United do get bumped anyway because it's Man United. But I do think they do make a rod for their own back because they do try and come in on a cheap, and it never works. Backfires every time. But so that's the end of the football segment. Obviously, people look at our predictions. Sports segment. Yes.
Not football.
Sports segment.
We don't limit it.
Maybe we should start touching on something else.
Do you know what I did watch? Let me just quickly touch on. I actually watched the last night. I was watching the American football college football bowl. Michigan versus TCU.
Tennessee?
No, TCU.
Oh.
And basically, they're the four best teams in the country. It's Georgia, Ohio State, who are playing each other in another bowl, and Michigan and TCU are playing each other in a bowl. Whoever wins goes to the national championship, which is the best team. No, they've played. Oh, the national.
I'll rewatch it. Yeah.
And I was watching it last night, man, and it was
their
going.
games are fucking.
I tell you what, the college NFL games are more entertaining than the college football games are more entertaining than the NFL games.
Crowd,
I think for a fan who doesn't know about the sport and they just want to see some gun ho and high scores, they're the games to watch. Like this game yesterday was 52-44.
That's a big score.
Big score. Third biggest score in a bowl game.
And I don't think I'd enjoy that more. Because it's more.
There's no defense.
Yeah,
there's no fucking defense. It's gone home.
Yeah, I like
that though. The game that we watched.
Oh, we watched. Yeah, the Minnesota
comeback of all time.
Minnesota, Indianapolis. Indianapolis were up 33-0.
There are good games, but them college football games just seem mental.
Bro,
man. They're massive. Like
100,000
I watched some of the Tennessee versus. I think it was Minnesota. Not Minnesota.
No, you watched Tennessee, Alabama.
Yeah, bro. That game there was crazy. Only watched the last 10 minutes. Crazy. And then all the people swarm the pitch. I was like,
they do that stuff.
What is going on?
But so I did watch a bit of that. I didn't watch the Ohio State Georgia game, but Ohio State, I think they lost by 1 point. I think it was 42 Georgia and 41 Ohio State. So Georgia are the reigning national championships. They're in the national championship again. They're playing TCU. On paper, they should donkey TCU.
Who's
but
TCU?
TCU, I don't know what they stand for, really. I've just only heard of their name.
TCU.
Yeah, I've only just heard of them. They've just kind of come out the woodwork. Underdogs. Michigan really on paper should have beat them, but they got donkeyed.
Anyone's game, really.
Anyone's game.
Texas Christian University.
Is that what they're called? Christian University.
That's what it says here. It might not be the correct one.
But might be it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't surprise me.
But that's it for the sports segment of the show, and now we're on to Divide the Nation. So this is a new segment we've got, and this is the section where we talk about something, a trending topic.
This is good. I like this.
We talk about a trend. So what we'll do is we'll talk about a trending topic in the news. I wrote it out into a question. We'll give our opinions on it, and then we will add on as well like a would you rather. So before we done Cadbury or Galaxy, I've got one here that we'll do, and we'll do a would you rather and give our opinions on that, and that'll be for the poll.
This is where we're going better. It's already better.
So the question I've got, because it's been a big topic over 2022. Obviously, it's about male masculinity, and the question is: has the male masculinity debate gone too far, and does it need to stay in 2022? Obviously, you've got the likes of Sneeko, Fresh and Fit, the Tates. They're kind of like for anyone who doesn't know, but they probably do know if you don't live in a ditch, you should know if you've got a YouTube account. These are the people kind of leading the charge for the male masculinity and the red pill masculinity, and to women they would say toxic masculinity. I'll give my opinion on that because I don't think it exists. But so has the male masculinity debate gone too far, and does it need to stay in 2022?
I think it does need to stay, but I think it needs to be voiced from different people.
So you want to see it stay, and you want to see it still be a thing?
Yeah, because I think young men nowadays, we are suffering. We can see. I think you can see that in the news. You can see women are on the rise. Everything. It's like everything at the minute's against males.
It's not
We're not promoting males.
It's not like at the moment. I think in society, it's not. You're not promoted to be a masculine male, are you? It's like,
but at the same time, like, it depends what people you watch. See, I don't really watch like Sneeko and stuff like that. I watch like people like Elliot Holson. They're different. They're more like, they've got a family, they've got a wife, they've got kids, they train, they're a masculine man. These guys are sort of like
controversial,
a bit too much. You're like, women, this, that. But then again, this is what I mean. We live in such a dumb time. This is what young males get attracted to. They got the nice watch, they got a car, they're doing well on YouTube, like, they're talking shit. What, they don't really know what masculine energy is either. What do you really know? Like, what does anyone really know? It depends what you define as masculine energy at the end of the day, innit? I just think it's being a wholesome person, doing right, setting goals for yourself, becoming a better human yourself, always doing right by others, help who you can help, and just showing respect.
And that's where I agree. I don't think Tate. I think people get the Tate thing confused. Sneeko and that, different story. I don't really watch Sneeko and that.
Yeah, but
I just see them pop up.
I feel like a lot of people are trying to be Tate.
People trying to be a Tate, but they don't realise what it takes to become a Tate.
Yeah.
He's that guy. You can't just become that guy. You are that guy or you're not. He's that guy. If it works for him and the women he's with, and he has 7 wives and they're all happy and he's happy, that's fine. Do you? Like, I'm not...
I think one thing people got to remember, he's in a financially different time zone than anyone. Yeah, he's financially, like, where he is on the ladder. There's levels to the game. Where he is, he can get away with shit. That's why the shit he talks about doesn't apply to the average Joe. And this is where people get it twisted. Everyone thinks it's applying to the average Joe. No, it's not. Like, he's on different levels. He's got unlimited amounts of money. He's got women chucking themselves at him. Like, he's a different guy.
Yeah, I think it's the average. I think the people that are pushing it over the top are the average Joes who watch him and go, well, I want 7 wives.
Yeah,
I want this.
Yeah.
You can't get that, jabroni.
You can't have fucking shit.
Be realistic. Be realistic.
Man.
But yeah, my opinion on the subject, obviously, I've got a few points written down. This is the positive things I like about it. I like the stoic values. I like the message to be the best version of yourself. The positive male talk is good. Go to the gym. Don't be a bum. Don't moan about shit that's out of your control. I like all these values. I think where it goes over the top, where people take it over the top, it may be like smashing women down with it. But then for instance, like, women can't do this, women shouldn't do this, women should do the kitchen, women should do that. I think that's when it might get over the top for me personally. But for them, it's fine if it works for you. For me, it doesn't. I'm not like that myself, so I'm different. But I think it's the cause of the pendulum. It's been taken too far one way. You've got a press of young people, older people, the message, who have gone the other way, and it's gone too far the other way.
I feel like that's how it always goes.
Yeah, and for the toxic masculinity, I don't think it exists. I think it's just extremists for the groups. Like, you can get extreme feminists. You can get where they'll be like, fuck men, I can do this, I want to go out, I want to do this, I want to do what men do, I want to do this. All right, that's fine. I think it's just 2 extreme points. I think that's what toxic masculinity is. I just think it's the extreme people of the point, which you get in everything. You get extreme Black Lives Matter members, you get extreme KKK members, you get extreme everything. You get extreme conservatives, you get extreme Labour.
I think what one thing people need to understand is, men and women complement each other. And it's as simple as that. Regardless of what you do, you both complement each other. You both work as a team. That's the end of the conversation. I don't know why we need to drag this down or drag that down. Because that, to be fair, if you're letting stuff like that bother you, then you're not a masculine male. Then, are you?
No, exactly. Yeah.
And
There's no argument.
Shit, there can be the vice versa there can be alpha women as well. There can
Yeah.
be, you know what I mean? Like there can,
Of course, there are alpha
And
women.
there is alpha women.
unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's just the fact of it. Because
What's her name?
a lot of males move like females.
I'll tell you an alpha woman, fucking Elena Cardone. Grant Cardone's missus.
Yeah.
If she's with any other geezer, she's running the ship.
Yeah.
She's ruling the roost.
Or
Who else? Hormonesy's missus.
Hormonesy's missus.
What's her name?
Layla Hormonesy.
Layla Hormonesy. She's with any other man, she's the top fucking G in that relationship.
but that's what I mean. Like them women now with people that are even higher than them. That's why like sometimes your missus will look up to you, or you might get males that find a missus that they look up to them and they strive to be better. But normally it does work the other way. A woman will look at a man and be like, "Oh my god, like you're here. How can I level up?" Sometimes it's not in that right format, but. Like I said, it depends how you are in life, but I do think that masculine, that toxic is
it's here to stay. I think
I don't like just.
I think men have to realise
like
at the same time that this is the era we're in. Like this is the era we're in. Like we're not in this old school era anymore, and I don't know if we are going to be going back. We will go back into that era now.
we're so far gone.
We are so far gone. I think it would take for something mass to happen to set us back to our natural ways. For us to go back.
I'll tell you what's a good pod to watch is that Pearly White. Is it the Pearly White things?
It's Pearly something things.
The Pearly something.
Pearly Talks things.
Yeah, Pearly
something
Talk,
like that.
with Andrew Tate
and Brittany Renner.
You see in that pod. It's a completely if you really can't watch that and understand Tate's perspective and everyone else's perspective, then you ain't really got hope in this world, I don't think. Because you can understand Tate is completely different in it. He's probably the most human I've seen him.
Yeah.
He's more normal.
No, but I think
the
if
women
you catch...
all normal, like, it makes sense.
I think this is the issue. I think if you watch a podcast where Tate's surrounded by people like that and it's a serious conversation, you understand him.
Yeah, he's got a respect to.
He has got a respect. Yeah.
Remember, he done like the same thing with like I think Sneeko was there, and he done it with the girl that sucked off like half of the NBA.
Oh yeah.
He just disrespected her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like whereas
he does play her.
He does play
like Brittany Renner. She's actually like a doctor and that. Like
she's
I know she got about. But she's actually
but she's trying to change her persona. She's trying to. That was probably a young her, confused her. She didn't have her dad around. She didn't really know what she was looking for. And I loved how this woman put it. She was like, "Was you just?" Because like people like with males, sometimes we just have sex.
Oh, she was calling it like, exchange of energy. Like sex is an exchange of energy.
And then the woman was like, "You sure you were making love to someone who was just having sex?" And I was deep in it. I was like,
yeah.
That's pretty imagine because
you don't think
a lot of women,
that.
like when you're emotionally involved, because sex isn't energy; it's an emotional thing, innit? But sometimes men are just better at just having sex. Maybe that's because our testosterone's higher, our libidos are higher, like we're just more sexually active. And I think if you look at animals in the wildlife kingdom and that, you can sort of see all males. Males don't just have one female, and I'm not condoning. You can do that because we live in a modern society. I'm not saying this, that, but I'm just saying like if you actually look at it from an animal point of view, we are animals. So
yeah,
I sort of understand it.
100%. And to be fair, for anyone who wants to see a good podcast about it, watch that. Pearly things.
Let me get it out.
It is a really good podcast, and even if you don't want it's a 3-hour podcast. If you don't want to watch the whole thing, don't skip to.
I accidentally did.
Yeah, I watched a lot of it, but there's a point in there. It's got chapters. Skip to the bit about Brittany Renner.
So it's just pearly things.
Just pearly things.
And even that Brittany Renner says at the end, she rates Tate.
Yeah, no, there's a bit at the end where because she's been about, and she literally says, "Well, what do we do for a woman like me who's been about? Do I get judged on my mistakes now that I want to change, or like, how does it work?" And he comes up with some good answers, and it is a good discussion.
I like the older woman, though.
The older woman's pretty real.
Is this the older
black
one?
Yeah.
She goes in.
She goes in. She don't take shit. She's the aunt.
She's from an older generation, though. That's why.
She's a typical aunt.
She's been on a few recently, and she's been killing certain females for the way that their mentality thinks.
Yeah, but again, it's like he said, we're at that point in the pendulum where what like read the book, about human cycles and that. Like we do take things too far, and like you said, you see it with everything's tribalism, crypto, this, football, you go around in circles with it. For some reason people just extreme.
No, it's true. So that's people, put your opinions in the comments. What do you think of the so-called toxic masculinity? What do you think about the masculinity red pill? Give your opinions down below. We'd love to hear it. If you want us to speak more about it, we'll speak more about it. As long as you give us questions about it. And if you have any questions for Divide the Nation that we miss out on, put them in the comments and we'll touch on it in the next current events.
Maybe that's what we need to do more on a thingy. We ask people what questions should we ask. And
this is the Would You Rather. So before we done the Galaxy and Dairy Milk, and this time it is, what would you, are we going to say takeaway or just in general?
Nah,
in general.
We're going to do them
Takeaway.
too. Just them two, because that's the debate.
Okay, so would you rather curry Indian or Chinese? What do you prefer, Indian or Chinese?
I'm having a fucking booner.
Indian.
Yeah.
I prefer Indian myself. I'm not a big fan of Chinese. Why?
Nah, that's
a big debate.
That's a proper English flex, though.
Yeah, but
I'm a curry man.
You do like a Chinese, though.
Yeah, but I think if I can have something,
you'd prefer.
I'm a Chinese man, yeah. But if you say Bombay Central, you're go in there.
Yeah. Because if it's for takeaway, it's a different story. It could be a different story. Like if we're saying takeout Chinese or takeout Indian.
Takeaway Chinese or Indian.
Yeah, let's say, should we say takeaway?
Takeaway Chinese or Indian.
Would you rather takeaway Chinese or takeaway Indian? Indian still. Yeah, I would prefer Indian.
No, I'm Chinese. Man.
Chinese on that one.
I just think there's a little bit more variety.
Yeah, no, there is. Chinese is one of them gritty ones, man. Really got to fancy it.
Yeah.
I just find it so dirty.
You come out after eating a Chinese, I'm waking up at 4 a.m. dry as fuck.
Yeah, they are better, but it's just like...
What do you get, though? What do you get on your Chinese, though?
I get sweet chili beef, beef curry,
I'm with
rice.
You on that, yeah.
I get it all, but I'm just saying
it's a controversial
it's a bit
one. Yeah. I don't really rate all these people that just get the chow mein, the chips, the rice, and they just put curry sauce over it. That's not a Chinese to me, innit? So all of you guys out there that do that, you need to.
But I'm not really rating takeaway Indian though either.
The Kung Po chicken, no, the takeaway Indian.
Kung Po prawns.
Yeah, no, the Indian takeaway shit as well. Obviously, it's hard for me though because like we come from a family that can cook.
Yeah,
so it's a bit like. But I'm gonna shout out one place. If you're gonna go get Indian, Bombay Central, Watford. Harrow, mate, goated. How good is it?
It's goated.
It's the best. I don't care.
Best lamb chops around.
I'm actually going to another place around
the
corner from it. That's meant to be apparently better, if not on par.
Yeah.
Central Dubber. I don't even know if it's called Central Dubber. Something Dubber.
Something like that.
Something Dubber. And apparently it's meant to be on par, if not better. So I'll tell you.
I'm telling you, that's a mean Indian. That's an Indian that like that's like home cooking.
You don't go there and just see a bunch of white people.
Yeah.
No, it's pure. You're just seeing Indians in there, which you know is party time.
Yeah.
It's time to get down and dirty.
Yeah. But I'm saying like, you go any restaurants, if you see Chinese eating in Chinese, that's how you know it's a good Chinese. Like it's as typical as that.
Or you see duck hanging out the window.
Yeah.
Chinatown style.
Before we get into the Rayne segment, I do just want to, because someone did actually say this on the Instagram, so I do just want to touch on it quickly. Andrew Tate getting arrested. Is it the smartest marketing play in the world? Have the Matrix had enough and actually come for him, or has he committed a crime? What do we think?
He had it coming to him. He's been explaining it for weeks. He's loud, he's bolshy, he's teaching men to be men. People don't like it. It's just, I don't know, for me it's just...
Yeah, but I don't know the facts on it. Is it to do with the same case?
I think it's pretty much to do with the same case they tried to do him with when they got him cancelled about the
girl from America.
No, that's a part of it. And what is it called? Something human trafficking.
Yeah.
So it's for human trafficking.
That's what they explained. It was that apparently the girl come over from America by her free will. And her boyfriend back home didn't know where she was, saw that she was there, rang the police went there, she weren't there.
Yeah,
Like,
or it's that, and then it's something to do with maybe the webcam women that they were getting on weren't consenting, and they were selling it as thingy, something like that.
Cool.
Yeah, like you said, bolshy, loud, talks about it a lot.
You know,
Probably had it coming to him.
It's hard, isn't it? Because it's just like
He's walking the tightrope. He's walking the tightrope.
He is walking the tightrope though, because you got to remember, like, you got money, you're attracting a crowd. You're doing well. Like, people ain't gonna like you, mate. Rich people ain't gonna like you just for the fact of where you are. Even though because people don't understand him. If you probably chilled with him, he'd get on with everyone. He's just actually a good guy. But I think it's just the way he comes across.
Yeah.
People haven't got the time of day to sit there and analyze.
Yeah.
him.
Well, I've got a question. What do you think his motive is? Because he's not doing this for money.
I think he hit the nail on the head yesterday.
Well, I think it's a power thing, and I think I've actually heard him on a podcast say it's a power. He said it on one of the most recent podcasts he's done. He said it's about power. He said, "I've got the money. I'm not doing this for money. It's more of a power thing." I played a video yesterday. I sent it into the chat, and it's basically him when he's younger and he's fighting, talking about that something about his brain is not like a normal brain. He gets bored going to family dinners. He doesn't like watching TV. He needs to keep his brain active, supposedly. And fighting was the fear that he needed to get into the ring to keep him excited. No, and I think he's just moved it on to the next thing. I think that the fear of the government trying to dead him off and people arguing with him and all this sort of stuff.
He likes
the chase. Yeah. He likes the fear.
Yeah.
And I think that is what it is, watching that video. So I think that's...
Yeah, I think he's adrenaline junkie.
Yeah,
he likes that because it's like he's got no power.
And I don't think Tristan is.
No.
And I think this is where the difference is. If I feel sorry for anyone in the situation, I know Tristan's a part of it, but he's not as bolshy about it. And I think he's just a different character.
No,
so I do feel sorry for Tristan.
Like recently, though, he's been getting a lot more involved with the social media side, though. Like he's been going off and doing his own stuff.
Well, because I think more people are curious of him.
Yeah,
more people want him on their pod because he's got a different way of looking at things.
He has got a different way of looking at things. He's got a little brother mentality.
Yeah, he's more like
he's completely different.
Yeah, he's completely different. He is.
They're the same, but they're different.
His philosophy is completely different. He's more like he's more like down to earth.
Tate says in pods, he goes, I'll spend my last penny and go broke because I know I'll make it back. Tristan, having a daughter and stuff, says he would have done that back in the day. He would not do that now.
But then I've seen a podcast of him the other day. He was trying to persuade Tate to fucking get a bulletproof like Range Rover or something. Like he was like, look, we've got money, we need to spend it. Like we may as well start spending money because we're bringing in loads of money. Let's start spending money.
I don't know how old that clip was though.
Yeah, I don't know how.
True.
You see new clips every other day. You don't know if they're old or new.
I don't know. I'm just going off like I can only go off like podcasts that I've watched with the Mike Thurston one. Like he's just his philosophy is a bit different. I feel like he's just a bit more calmer.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Level-headed.
And then on to the next segment. It's the Rayne segment.
Talking about that dirty.
And this is a segment we actually did do back in the day. We kind of stopped it. We looked at new ways of bringing it in, and now we've just gone back to roots. And this segment's basically all about something Rayne's been. He's a passionate guy. We have to put it into his own segment because he might just take over the whole pod. Yeah. He might just take over the whole pod and ramble with it. So we've given him his 10 minutes of fame on the podcast, his own 10 minutes, and this is basically something that he's maybe been learning for the last week. It could be something he's been learning for the last month, and it's basically just about him bringing some value to the viewers of something he's learned and just explaining a bit more.
And I've had a couple of people ask me about it. Yeah. And I feel like this is testosterone is a big thing in males now. We're declining. A lot of people ain't going out. A lot of people are gaming more. Young males ain't going out training. They're not doing nothing. They're more tired. They're more deficient. There's more illnesses. So yeah, let's touch on it. Well, I actually did do a video.
There is a video there. I don't know if it's coming out. I don't know if it will. No, you need that mic. You need that mic in front of you.
Do you reckon I need that? That video don't need to come. I've basically
You're not pointing it at, but bring it like round. Like,
I think that whole video is in the wrong format.
In the wrong format.
Yeah, I feel like is this the one where you done by?
Yeah.
You know what it is? It's hard. It's hard.
It needs to be like this. This is the Rayne segment. Do some research. Bring it on. Let's get it.
All right. Anyway, let's look at testosterone and what role it plays in the body. So, testosterone is the important sex hormone in men and women. It's the development of the penis, the testicles, deepening of the voice, during puberty, facial and pubic hair, sex drive, libido, muscle size and strength, sperm production, bone growth and strength. We'll also touch on women, just in case. But test is also produced in their ovaries, their adrenal gland. It supports the ovarian function, bone strength, and enhancing libido. And for people that don't know libido is... Do you know what libido is?
No, I don't.
So libido is a term used to describe sexual appetite or sexual desire.
So wanting to have sex.
Yeah, wanting to have
Yeah.
sex. That gives you
Sexual urge.
Yeah, that sexual
Sexual
urge.
urge.
Yeah.
That horniness.
Yeah, the horniness, yeah.
Might wake up in the middle of the night doing a mazza. Libido high.
Yeah, some people obviously have a high and some people have low, all depending on the person, what you're eating, how you're recovering, etc. So, signs of deficiency: low sex drive, erectile dysfunction, loss of lean muscle mass, feeling very tired all the time, fatigue. Reminds me of my old man. But
It will be higher in older
I'll
males
show
as
you,
well.
yeah.
Yeah, he'll get onto that.
so obesity, depression, mood changes. To be fair, it could change a lot more depending person to person. Testosterone for a male anyway is such a massive hormone for us, so it's like it could affect a lot of things. But like women who have, you've heard of menopause, isn't it?
Yeah.
We have a thing called andropause. And andropause is a result of low T, but it's actually one of the most undiagnosed conditions in men. And that's pretty mad, because testosterones are like, it's one of our biggest hormones, and they say by the time we're 30s, look, men in our mid 30s, test declines 1 to 2% each year. That's obviously if you're probably not maybe training or you're not eating sufficient in that. But so when we actually hit them 30s, we're declining. So we get sort of like a menopause just like women from low T. That's pretty mad.
You
That's
don't hear about it.
undiagnosed.
Yeah,
you don't hear
about,
men
you only ever hear
saying,
about menopause for the women.
yeah, you're always hearing about menopause, and they can always use it against something. Oh no, but I'll go through menopause.
Yeah.
It's sort of like a little bit of a clutch, innit?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
men are going through the same thing. We're just maybe not
we're just
complaining,
undiagnosed.
or we're uneducated on it.
Yeah.
But I've got, I'll keep it short and simple. What you can do to combat this is lifestyle changes, the way you eat, prioritizing protein. I think you should prioritize protein, fats. I don't think you need loads of fats, loads of carbohydrates. I do think you should prioritize protein. Mixed cardio and strength training. I think that's essential for a man, regardless the age. Good sleep, 7 to 8 hours, if not more, if you're training. Women actually need 8 to 9 hours, which is pretty mad. I didn't really understand that.
Which is understandable because women, even
They do
like
sleep
my
longer.
missus, they sleep
Yeah,
longer.
Yeah, and I was always
I'm getting antsy at 8 o'clock, like poking and prodding and that, like just
avoid stress. That's to a certain degree. Maybe have a timeout. I like that. Have a timeout section, like 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day. Just cut it or something. Have a time where you can read a book or just try to unwind. Cold water exposure has actually been linked to higher test results, which we know that. We get ice baths, we've done it. Cold shower. If you can't get in the ice bath, get a cold shower. I've been actually getting cold showers every day for this past week. I ain't even had a hot shower. I feel great.
Yeah.
You know what it is? I feel better at night for getting a cold shower. Much
Before
better.
bed?
Yeah, before bed. And I thought, I might not be able to sleep, but I sleep much better.
probably cools your whole body.
Yeah,
down,
I just
doesn't
feel
it?
better. I feel just cleaner. I just feel better. Sunlight exposure. There's actually been a study by Andrew Huberman. He had a study on his podcast talking about 20 to 30 minutes a day sunlight or sun exposure, or just going outside and getting some
Hard in the UK.
some
don't
daylight. Yeah, but even daylight, even going out there
But
now.
even
if it's
for instance,
cloudy,
like if you walk home from work, 10 minutes.
Yeah,
That's your light
Yeah.
exposure.
Spend more time
Spend
out.
more time just in the light.
because
even
you
if you're
ever
in the
notice like
garden.
when you go on holiday, like you, as your kids and that, and you play in the sun, and at night you're fried.
Yeah.
That's because you spent time in the sun. The sun and melatonin actually makes you more tired. That's why you want to get, and it doesn't matter if
And
it's
that
sunny
helps
outside.
testosterone.
That helps testosterone.
Vitamin D,
Helps,
innit?
yeah, vitamin D helps sleeping, so you're gonna sleep better at night. Fasting, fast a couple times a week, once or twice.
I've been doing
a
that a
week.
lot
Even if it's intermittent.
Yeah, intermittent fasting.
So you can do, like, for anyone watching that doesn't know intermittent fasting.
Intermittent fasting is, I'll just give you the basics. So you could do So you're going to do 16 hours where you fast and 8 hours where you eat. So you could fast from 8 p.m. at night all the way to 12 the next day. And then you got 12 till 8, you got that gap of eating. And so you eat within that gap. And you typically, when you break your fast, you want to be breaking it with something lean. So like, I don't know, say like a chicken breast with maybe just a little bit of rice and a salad or some yogurt and some fresh fruit or something. I ain't going to go too deep. And then drinking plenty of water. And then supplements you could take, essential is magnesium, vitamin D, omega-3 fish oil, zinc. And then you got some new supplements that are out there. One's ashwagandha. I've not dabbled at that. But it's an Indian herb. Apparently it works. I think we had Charlie on there before talking about it. I've been taking something called Tonka Ali Long Jack. That definitely works. Yeah, you know that works. You're stronger in the gym. The only reason I can say it works as well because your sexual desire is much more higher. Like you're waking up in the middle of the night and your old boy's just saluting. You know, it hurts.
Saluting.
Maybe I'm taking too
ready.
much. Yeah,
it's like that in the middle of the night. It's ready for action.
Long Jack, and then you got Fidoja agressus, that which you can take with Tonka Ali. But again,
Are these all natural for the people?
these are all natural. Yeah, Tonka Ali is a Malaysian shrub, and Fidoja agressus is Ghanaian shrub, and then that ashwagandha is Indian herb. But for natural supplements, you can take vitamin D, magnesium, fish oil, eating a well-balanced diet. You know what I mean? Just getting everything in, going for walks, etc. But again, if you really think you got something wrong, you should really all supplements work, but you should go and get your blood results done. I think that's just the smartest thing. Instead of taking something, because you are blindly guessing, because you might be taking too much magnesium and your magnesium levels might be right, or too much zinc when you're taking, like, there's no point guessing it when you can literally pay for a test, which it just invest £100, you're investing in yourself. Invest £100, find out what you need, and then supplements do work, because it's sort of like, just like the doctors work, but the only reason doctors have got one up on you because they do your blood work. And they actually understand, okay, you need this, you need that. But supplements, majority of them all do work, but a lot of the time you're just guessworking.
Yeah.
Instead of just getting
what you can actually do, you can get your blood work done, and if you're still unsure about certain things, you can actually take it to your doctors.
Yeah.
And say like this, and this.
Talk
us through it, because I had my blood work done, and it said I was high in B12. You may need to speak to your doctors because there could be a few different causes. I spoke to the doctors and they were just like, no, it's fine. Your levels are right. Like it's not that bad. Like we look into it if the levels are over and over sort of.
The app I do it through, you can actually speak with a doctor
on the app.
Yeah. So you can actually.
So what app is that? Anyone?
Fourth. I got it through Fourth, and this is in the UK, but you can actually speak to a doctor on the app. So
and I got mine through Thriver. Liam George sent me that, so I'll put the links for them down below. And we actually might have codes, like 10% off codes and stuff like that with our things. So I'll put them all down below. Yeah. If you're interested in getting your blood work done, get it done. It's probably recommended you should just get it done anyway, just to be sure.
Yeah. But if you're not doing that, take the basic steps. Yeah. Going for a walk, start training. You don't have to train like a madman. Train twice a week, once a week. Make sure you go out, make sure you walk. Even if you don't train, make sure you walk every day. It's like simple little things that are going to benefit your life.
Yeah.
Put down the fucking beers on the weekend. You don't have to be doing it every weekend, but hey ho. And just, see what works for you. But if you are suffering, then yeah.
Yeah, and I just want to touch, we're not qualified in anything. He's not a doctor.
No, I'm not a doctor.
So if you do have any issues, like maybe do your own research as well. We're not telling you to take anything. We're not telling you to do anything. But just if you are suffering with anything, this might help.
Yeah, like I said. Yeah. But that's it, man.
Yeah, touched on that.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it was good. I like that. Little Rayne segment. Maybe I have to clip that into a thing. But on to the best segment of the pod, arguably, the moments of the week. I love the moment of the week section. It's basically the section where we just give a moment about something going on or a moment for ourselves that we've looked at and just, it was a happy moment for us this week. Because it could be over the last 2 weeks because we've not filmed since just before Christmas. So just a moment in that time I'll start first because I've actually got a moment this week. So I'll start. If you've not got one, do a little bit of thinking. People, comment down below your moment of the week. And
share it with us, man.
Share it with us because I do like hearing them.
It's energy. You're putting that
Yeah, I
out
do
there.
like
Let's
hearing
bounce
them.
off each other.
Put it down below.
We're all one. We're humans.
Send it to me on Instagram, and like we've got a few here that we're going to feature in the pod. So send it to me on Instagram, and I'll feature it anonymously in the pod for the next episode. My moment of the week was on Christmas Day, and obviously I was at my girlfriend's house, and it was her. She is the moment of the week this week. She always asks. She's like, "When am I going to be the moment of the week? When am I going to be the moment?" Well, your moment's now. The moment's here. The moment's come. And it was
Big up.
She gets so happy on Christmas Day. She's like running around. She has all her presents, and she wouldn't open none of her presents. She got her mum and dad, and she was basically just giving all them her presents. And the smile on her face of like her watching people
You've captured that.
open the present. She was just so happy, and I'm just sitting there like watching, and she just looked so happy. And that's my moment of the week. Like, it was a good moment. I sat there and thought, yeah.
That's something you want to be
Yeah,
surrounded.
that's a good moment.
That's what Christmas is about.
Yeah.
You know
Like,
what I mean?
I'm
when
not-
you're watching someone else, and it's like,
yeah,
that's
they're
what
so
makes
happy
it.
giving to other people, and she wouldn't let anyone open she wouldn't open her present. She was just letting them do that. So that's my moment of the week.
That's a
this
good
week.
human, man.
I like that,
Yeah.
man. That's
Yeah, it is
a
a good
beautiful
one,
one.
yeah.
Big up Bailey as well, man. But what, you want to go on yours?
My one ain't really mine. Well, it was something that I seen today. I think I sent it to you earlier. But that Gary McKee run 365 marathons in 365 days.
Who?
I've got the. We'll go into it after. You just because I'm going to do a bit on it at the end as
cool.
well. But yeah, he
Yeah.
ran 365 marathons. He raised $1 million in charity. He done it for
Fuck me,
365
man.
days.
The marathons must have just been light. That's just like a light work. To be fair, it's
Done a marathon a day,
possible,
for 365 days.
Well, mine is my marathon, but I ain't doing marathon. My man stole the light. But yeah, you know what it is. Just,
Gary McKee.
yeah, like it's funny because like I found a plan online, and it was for a 3 hour. It was for a sub 3 hour to get a sub 3 hour, and I thought, well, why can't this apply to me? If I just run it, then surely I must get a sub 3:30 hour if I can put my all into it, or if not, I might get lower. But just getting across that finish line, I stuck to my game plan. I trained, even though regardless, some weeks I couldn't train because I got ill, or hurt myself, or something happened.
Life got
And-
in the way.
Yeah, life got in the way, and bruv, I got 3:25, and mate, I was over the moon. Like I said sub 3:30. I wanted quicker. Once I started getting to that 23rd mile, I started to realise
I'll take what I can get.
You come second, right? As well.
Yeah, second out of like 60 something people.
Yeah, because I was number 58. I don't know how many people were there, but I
I think there was like 60
58.
something vets.
Yeah,
So
and these are all people that are,
Have
like
done-
mates. Some people, like one guy that I spoke to, that was his 150 marathon.
Oh, right.
Some guy that's like their 30s. I was probably like, this was like a hardcore marathon. Like this was like a hardcore.
This is your first.
Yeah, this is my
full
first
marathon,
marathon.
isn't
I'd say there was about 5 people there doing a marathon for the first time, if not less.
Yeah.
There was people
you
there
can't
who have
say,
done
bruv.
who
That's
have
an
done
amazing
1,000
achievement.
marathons.
You can tell this was a hardcore, like this was a hardcore like runners, isn't it? Because it weren't like a proper like marathon. This was like people have come together and done like a make do sort of marathon.
And
Christmas
it's
Eve.
cold
On
as
Christmas
well,
Eve.
Christmas Eve.
That weren't bad, man. Well, when we're
That's
running
good,
in
man.
fucking minuses, like this seems like a breeze. But yeah, my moment of the week is just like sticking to the plan. I got it done, and it does work. Proof's in the pudding.
Nah,
Proof is literally in the
Brilliant. And we got
pudding.
a vlog coming out.
Yeah, we
The
vlogged
marathon
it.
vlog. So that'll come out in a few weeks, if not next week. It's brilliant.
Took on the advice, took on everyone's advice. Hardman come on talking about refueling. I was refueling every half an hour. Like, it worked. I felt good, except from the last 23 miles. And this man's trying to get me to run another 4 miles.
If he'd done another 4, it would have been an ultra.
Yeah, I've probably
No one else
I've
done an
probably-
ultra. It would have been an ultra.
Yeah,
So, but I'm saying it from a point of view where I haven't done shit that day. So I've not just.
You're just making content.
Yeah, but I've not dug deep like that. You know, like even on a treadmill, sometimes if you want to do an extra 5 minutes when you run a bit, it's digging deep. So I can't imagine what another 4 miles. 'Cause when he stopped,
all I'm saying, the last mile, digging.
when he stopped, he looked fucked. Like his legs looked fucked. He was
Yeah,
all
hip
like,
flexors are
he was
gone,
walking weird. It was. I've never seen a human walk like that. But we got a few moments of the weeks from the people through Instagram. We got one here. I'm going to keep the names. I'm not going to say none of the names, but it was seeing how much I'd earned and knowing I worked fucking hard for it. It was a good feeling. So obviously referring to whatever job, he's worked hard for it, earned a lot of money, and more power to you, brother. And we hope you have a successful 2023.
Peace, brother. You got to do better than that this year, boy.
Yeah, up the ante. Put in a 1%, one more percent.
That's the beautiful thing about life is there's always setting that bar.
Yeah.
Go one more.
We got another one here, and it was the realization of change and focus is extremely needed. Fell off a bit, but we're back on.
That's it. That's what it's
Beautiful.
about, man.
That one's a good one.
Yeah, so hopefully next year, just crush your goals. That 1%, 0.5%.
And it's all right to come off. You know what I mean? People think, oh, it's the end of the world. Probably we're human.
Yeah.
Like, that's the beautiful thing about it. You jump
That's what
back
humans
on.
are here for. We make mistakes. Let's get it. We got another one here. Moment of the week, booking my flight home from Thailand. Because they've obviously done a season in Thailand. They're coming back to the UK.
Love that, man.
Coming back home. Yeah, what an experience. We hope you had a good time. And yeah.
Don't let it beat you up.
Don't let it beat you up. Get that money back up. Yeah, but they're the moments of the week. But we will touch on Gary McKee quickly because he is the dog of the week as well. As well as Mikey's moment of the week, he is the dog of the week. I'll give you some context for the people who don't know because it's all over the news at the minute. On the last day of the year, Gary McKee crossed the finish line of the last of the 365 marathons he has run in 2022. The father of three from Cumbria set himself the challenge of running a marathon a day to raise money for Macmillan Cancer Support and West Cumbria Hospice at home. Several hours after he completed the last run, the total of his fundraising page reached his target of 1 million, which will be shared between the two charities.
See, when I read stories like that, man, it makes me feel like, bro, I can do much more.
Yeah, it's a beautiful story, man. He got out there and got deep.
He ran a marathon on Christmas Day as well.
Yeah, bro, you're doing but them marathons are light to him now, man. He's like a...
What do you reckon the legs are feeling?
I don't think they are.
Yeah, after every day.
Bro, his nipples and everything must be cut to fuck.
Nah, because if he's running like that, he's not running a marathon like... He's not going to be running them. Like, he'll just be doing them at a nice, pretty easy
but still,
pace.
bro, you're still running 26
It's still 4 hours.
Yeah, no, don't get it twisted.
It's still like a 4.5 hour run.
But you're going to get accustomed. Don't get it twisted. You're still going to be digging deep, but them runs, you're not running at like
it'll be easier.
Yeah, you're not running at a marathon time. Like
I don't think you can run a marathon time every day.
No, you couldn't. You'd kill yourself.
Yeah,
you'd have to be strategic in how you run it.
Your feet would be...
Elliot Kipchoge, man.
Yeah, Elliot Kipchoge probably could.
What, 365 days a year?
He could do 3.5 hour marathons easy every day, I reckon.
Oh, not every day, yeah, because his
pace is 2 hours.
He's resting heart rate.
That's a sprint.
Yeah, he'd probably do him in 3 hours.
That's a walk.
But yeah, shout out to Gary McKee. It'd even be lovely. Maybe try get in contact with him. Try get
That's like
a little Zoom call with him or something if we could potentially.
You ever watched that Ross Edgley?
No.
Ross Edgley when he swam around the whole of Great Britain. Oh mate, mental man. You got to be a warrior to swim around in Great Britain. We got the
in open waters.
We got the roughest sea. He said he'd be swimming sometimes for like 8 hours because you got to hit the certain times with the tide. He said he'd get in. He said he might only eat an hour, and he says because the tide's right, you got to go. You got to get the fuck back in. And he's like,
the salt fucks up.
Bro, his whole neck was fucking split open, chafed open, and that. He said sometimes you have to swim through whirlpools and that. That's what I mean. People like that. It's like, fucking hell, man. You can do a lot, man. The human body can do a lot. It's just
and the mind.
How much you willing to go there in the mind? To say shut the fuck up.
But that's the new look current events. That's the new look podcast. I've had a much better time doing it.
You know what?
It's flowed better. It's exciting. It's planned. And to be fair, we have touched on things in the news, and it's still pretty positive.
No, we can't.
Because our thoughts are positive about it. But people, if you've enjoyed the episode, hit the subscribe button. We are chasing 1,000 subscriptions. If you're listening on Spotify, there's a little star button just under the following. There's a little star. Hit the star. Press it. 5 stars. Rate the boys. If you have rated the boys, unrate it and rate us again. Because it helps for the algorithm. We want to be in that algorithm. We want to touch that algorithm. We want to live in that algorithm. But just important, please subscribe on the YouTube channel. Comment down below your moments of the week, what you think on any of the debates. Follow us on all socials, Instagram, everything like that. We'll leave the blood test things down below if you want to get your bloods done, if you like the Rayne segment. And maybe comment your favourite segment, or maybe leave us a comment about...
or a segment maybe that you want us to cover just in the next episode.
Yeah, in the next episode.
We won't have it in every episode, but We could do something like
Yeah,
that as well.
yeah, 100%.
The people segment.
The people segment, yeah. Yeah, the people segment. I like that. But that's the new look current events, and that's it. Peace, people.
Ciao.